Radio from the Heartland. KOWN, Ottawa, Iowa. Ottawa's #1 and only radio station. Hey, this is Wally for KOWN, reminding you that today's program is brought to you by the Ottawa Community Theatre. Find details in the description. We've been conducting a cross-country search for industrialists who have been going all out in their efforts at cutting costs, eliminating waste, and contributing to the economic health of our nation. And this week, I visited the Blue Lake Paperclip Factory in Ottawa, Iowa, and I'm speaking with the president of the company today, Mr. Hudley Pierce. And I wanted to thank you, Hudley, for the warm welcome you've given me here.
It's quite all right, Wally. Always glad to have guests.
I might say I was amazed to find such a big plant as yours here devoted to the production of such a small item as the paperclip.
Well, actually, there are much larger paperclip factories than ours, Wally. We're really one of the little fellows in the industry. But I guess we have to fight the same battles as the big boys. Battles against inefficiency, waste.
Now, I've only been through that one building there. I imagine there were others. But in the one I saw, I was surprised that there was no machinery whatsoever.
No, we don't have any machinery. We just buy wire and long strips. Then our workers cut the strips into shorter pieces and bend them into paper clips.
Well, if all this work is done by hand, I imagine you have to get a pretty stiff price for your product.
No. Our clips are priced competitively. So far, I think we've managed to hold the line on inflation, and we expect to keep on doing that. Our clips retail at 10 cents for a box of 100, and we sell them there at the factory for 6 cents a box, in gross lots.
Astounding figures. Now, how many boxes can a plant the size of yours turn out in, say, a week's time?
Well, when we have all 3 shifts working, we can produce right around 200 boxes a week. If we can sell them all, that means we take in $12.
And you can afford to operate a big plant like this when your weekly sales only amount to about $12.
Yes, we have a very low wage structure. Here, again, we've been able to hold the line on costs. Our average worker makes about 14 cents a week.
Well, now how in the world do you expect anybody to live on that?
We don't pry into the personal lives of our employees, Wally. But I understand that most of our people live in caves out at the edge of town. And they forage for food.
Yeah, about that, I noticed on my visit to the plant that all the fellows working in there were dressed in rags, and they seemed to have strips of cloth tied around their feet.
Well, you can't wear shoes when you make 14 cents a week. That should be fairly obvious to anybody.
Probably explained why there seemed to be some grumbling, too.
Possibly.
I just can't understand how you can get people to work for a salary like that.
Well, the union contract has quite a few loopholes in it. For example, it doesn't mention wages at all. But it does have a clause that makes a worker subject to prosecution and imprisonment if he tries to quit.
I imagine the union's going to have that changed the first chance it gets.
Fortunately for the firm, it's a 99-year sweetheart contract, and it still has almost 86 years yet to go.
Well, it's certainly been interesting to chat with you today, Hudley, and we tip our hat to you in your valiant fight to cut costs and eliminate waste.
Thank you.
Now, this is Wally Ballou for KOWN, returning to your regularly scheduled programming and the soothing sounds of daybreak.